Welcome back to Marketo, Marketing for the Engagement Economy. In the last session, we talked about listening and learning to your audience behaviors so that you can personalize campaigns and messaging. We're going to take that a step further this time. We're going to focus on how you acquire new people into your Marketo database. There are four areas that we're going to talk about in this section. The first is how can you personalize your website even for anonymous visitors? Marketo can show you how you can personalize web content based on doing a reverse IP lookup of a person's IP address when they come to your website, whether it's by industry or by geography. Then we'll talk about how you can deliver relevant content based on those segmentations. If they leave the website, we want to show you how you can retarget them and follow them to other social sites or other websites. And finally, we'll talk about your high value accounts, your account-based marketing that will let you focus on those top 20% of your accounts that bring in 80% of your revenue.
Let's take a look at a website. Here's a website for financial services, and we can see that the message is full service banking anytime, anywhere. That's what everyone's going to see when they come to that website. But what if we were somebody that was actually looking out there, we went to our favorite search engine and we searched for apply for a home loan. And we saw this benefits of home ownership, so we clicked on that one. Are we going to see the same website everybody else sees? Will that really grab our attention? Probably not. So let's take a look at how we can take this generic version of a website and personalize it based on that search criteria or other information that we might want to use to personalize the web experience. The first step in any kind of personalization is knowing your audience. So we've gone into Marketo and we've determined that we want to come down and create an audience specifically for this message. So what we've set up here is an audience for an unknown visitor coming to the website. We're going to key off on the search terms. So on the right, you'll see I have several different firmographics and information that I can use to create exactly the audience that I want to see. So I put in some search terms in here. I've put some location specific information in here. And as I scroll down, I can see even the visits. So you can set this to fire based on the number of visits that the person's made to the website. Now, what will happen is once I've created this audience, now I can go over and create a campaign. So in my campaign, I can simply set up this audience to replace an area of content on my website, or I can go in and say, I just want to put a display up and I want it to be in a specific location. I may have some specific coordinates or want to put some color branding on there as well. Or I can come in here and do something less obtrusive and either slide in from the left or slide in from the right a little message, much the same way we see a lot of chat windows today. Once I've used the WYSIWYG editor to set up both my text and my visuals, now I can preview what is this going to look like on the website. So if I hit the preview button, it's going to come up and show me exactly what the person would see when they visited the website. I may also want to scroll down and see that I could set up A/B testing and even have Marketo Web Personalization auto-tune for me. So a lot of examples of how you can really personalize content to give your visitors more value when they're visiting your website. Now let's take a look at predictive content.
At the bottom of our display, you can see a subtle recommendation we've made for using more advanced content analytics. Here's an example of a rich media recommendation that you can see at the bottom of the screen. It's another way that I can personalize content in either the website or email. Let's look at how we set this up. So if we go to the content settings, Marketo can actually discover all of the content that you have out there on various websites. Then you want to categorize that content so that you can leverage that and display it at the right times, and even set up content patterns for specific URLs. So I can make these settings even for my rich content media recommendation bar and set exactly the colors and the things that I want there. Once I have all the content into Marketo, now I can either determine if I want to approve content, or at certain times I may want to unapprove content for the recommendation engine. I can even add new content at any time and include it in the recommendation engine. Let's take a closer look at a specific content that I've set up. I can determine content by email type and change that if I want to have different content out there, and then select my options for my rich media recommendation on the website, and even set different options if I wish to on the recommendation bar. The predictive content dashboard will allow me to see meaningful metrics on the content that's been viewed, the top 10 discovered content, as well as the top 10 predictive content. I can see the metrics for email and web. I can even scroll down and see different trends that might be taking place, as well as the top categories of content being viewed. When people leave your website, you want to do everything possible to get them back. So we might need to do some retargeting either on websites or even on social media. These are some examples to show you how you can follow a person and still try and get their attention once they leave your website. Leveraging Marketo's rich behavioral information, I can create an audience of people who have visited the website a certain amount of times and are not a customer yet. Once I've created the list, now I can send this to our ad bridge partners as well as our social media partners so that I can use a specific audience to spend my advertising budget on rather than mass advertising. Now let's take a look at our account-based marketing, our newest module. Here I can see a high-level dashboard of my top accounts, my high-value accounts. I can create these from fields in my CRM, from using Marketo, or simply importing a list. Once I have these accounts in here, I can then leverage those to create account lists. So maybe I want my target technology accounts in here, and you can see the various different fields of information that we have. Now that we've created our named accounts and built our account list, let's see how the marketer can leverage that in their campaigns. Here I have a smart campaign that I've set up. And if I look at my trigger, which is the orange box here, this happens in real time. So as soon as somebody's added to a named account, I can take an action. Now I may want to combine that trigger with a filter. So I may want to make sure that this person is also a member of a specific account list that we set up. Now, when those two things are both true, I can change their score, add 10 points to their score. Maybe I want to send an email. Maybe I want to put a wait step in here and wait 3 or 4 days before I try another channel. So I can set up cross-channel campaigns in here to my VIP accounts. So in this section, we showed you how you can acquire new leads by offering personalized content, even though they may be anonymous, and how you can even offer predictive content, focus on your high value accounts, and retarget to people as they leave your website, all in an effort to increase conversions.